Alright, welcome back. Okay, so that was quite a bit of a revelation in the last episode. So, Velvet is the daughter of Odin, and at least a half-sister to Gwendolyn here. And on top of that, the ring that we're looking for is up on Horn Mountain in the belly of a dragon. That's fantastic.
Lord Brigand shall surely administer punishment.
Oh yeah, and Brigand's still a huge asshole. Right, forgot about that.
Princess Gwendolyn! War is coming to Arion. The war the king predicted. The cauldron is essential in order to stand victorious and help us conquer the entire continent.
Your face is so pale. Princess Gwendolyn, are you feeling ill?
I wouldn't blame Gwendolyn for feeling a little lightheaded, considering, like, the bomb that Odin just dropped on her casually. Oh yeah, your sister is her. Velvet's your sister, and you nearly tried to kill your sister. So yeah, we're going up to Horn Mountain, which is the snow level. That's what it is. It's the snow level. There's no real weird ice physics like in a lot of games. At least not to my memory. But it also, Horn Mountain is, in my opinion, it has one of the most annoying mini-bosses in the game. That's just me. I don't particularly care for that mini-boss. I'll talk more about it when we get to it. So now we have access to a box. So in case you don't want to hold all this stuff, you can just throw it in there. So that's pretty useful. But first, let's go have a chit-chat with Odin.
Father, that girl, Velvet, is she someone special to you, Father?
She's his daughter.
She was the princess I once loved.
Ooh.
To lose her again, now.
That's a bit of a heavy blow.
Please leave me. I do not wish you to see me like this.
Odin wasn't this depressed when Griselda died. At least he didn't look like it.
My mother and sister devoted their lives to the king. I never heard him devote so many words of affection to me, ever.
Well...
If you leave her, she will be executed. That will make you the king's only surviving daughter. You
This
will
bird
no
has
longer have to
evil
fight for
ideas.
his love. True. If only she were gone.
That is an evil-ass bird.
But if she dies, Father will suffer even more. Are you saying you will save her? This girl who cares nothing for you? If you do, you are committing treason. You will no longer be welcome here. Will you persist in this folly?
Yeah, she will, because Gwendolyn's cool.
There will be no way to redeem yourself. How can you willingly choose to walk the path to your own death?
Seriously, that bird's a jerk. Ah, well. Anyway, Horn Mountain. Winterhorn Ridge, I should say. So we're gonna have to go kick Brigand's ass. No word on killing the dragon, but maybe. So, as expected, this area is home to a lot of ice-based enemies. And one of the items that the merchant was selling was like a warmer, so that you wouldn't freeze up. But then again, Gwendolyn's main element is ice, and she has a skill that prevents her from freezing. So that's pretty useful. It's not really that big of a deal. I never really use it. So now we got grapes. Grapes are... they're pretty good for experience. They take a... I think they give you like 2 servings if you eat them. A decent amount of experience for early game. And they also give you, they give you like a grapevine to just throw at enemies. And that kind of just like, confuses them a little bit. Overall, they kind of become like most of the other fruit in, they become like most of the other food later in the game, where it's more or less, I don't really need this. Mori the Wandering Chef. So this is going to be the main source of XP in this game, Mori. He's a little puka. He's a chef who just goes around wandering the world. And if you hit a certain bell at a rest stop that has his logo on it, he'll pop up and he'll cook you delicious food. If you've gotten a recipe from the stage. And if you have the proper ingredients, of course. And he'll do this free of charge, because he's cool that way. He's also voiced by Aaron Fitzgerald. Hooray! That's another plus for Mori. So we got Chie as a wandering chef. That's always cool. So we got another Phozon Prism on this stage. There's some evil snowmen. That one had like a bit of an evil grin on its face. But the rest of these are so happy. Whatever, I've read Callan Hobbes. Snowmen are never really that good as long as you, in a fantasy setting. They'll threaten to take over the world. So what Phozon Prism did we get this time? High Thrust. This is kind of like High Time. It's your anti-air attack. That's all. It's kind of useful. I don't really use it that much. I'm always checking the map just to make sure I know where I'm going, because there are a lot of secret areas, as I've mentioned before. You just gotta make sure you're checking out for suspicious places. Of course, then again, there's always game facts, so, Now, the story of Odin's Sphere is not necessarily linear, if that makes sense. Because, as I mentioned before, we will be playing as other characters later on in the game, and their stories may happen before or after Gwendolyn's here. Or they may happen on the exact same time frame. If you see a character who may have passed in a previous cutscene in a character's story, they might appear quite alive in another character's. Or you might learn of why they died. Who knows? So let's go ahead and summon up our buddy Mori. Mori's cool. He carries his business on his back.
A pleasure to meet you. You're a Valkyrie from the Demon Lord's realm, yes? My name is Mori.
He also has a very unique dialogue for every character that he serves. Oh, and also, if you get all of Mori's recipes, then you actually get a special item. I'll show that off toward the end of the Let's Play. But I'm just going to show off the item, not actually the process of getting every single recipe. Because some recipes you have to look for in the map, some you have to buy off of merchants, and some you get from enjoying one recipe over and over and over again. Say like you eat an omelet like 3 times, and a better version of the omelet is unlocked. So there's a lot of recipes for Mori that you have to unlock.
Enjoy your meal.
Now Mori's meals give out quite a good bit of XP. This is kind of the reason why we got that ability that lets us get more experience from eating food. Because again, like I said, Mori is going to be our go-to guy for level ups.
Thank you very much.
Now, of course, if you eat the same recipe over and over and over again, then you're not going to get as much XP. However, eating from Mori also has the benefit of increasing our max HP. So that's very useful. And also, Mori is in the same family of showing off really delicious looking food that Vanillaware is just known for.
Mori's touring restaurant. My secret ingredient is sincerity.
Aww.
I'm so glad there's a customer this time. The wind rings the bell much too often.
Mori's probably the nicest character in this entire game. He's like the nicest one. Not an evil bone in his body.
As you wish.
And he's just so cute. All he wants to do is just cook up good food. I like Mori. Mori's cool.
Else you want to order? As you wish. I have prepared a new menu. Please give it a try.
See, so once you eat the omelet enough times, cheese omelet. Omelette de fromage. God, that is a dated fucking reference.
Is there anything else you want to order?
We don't have any cheese, so we can't exactly have the cheese omelet, which gives out a lot more XP and a bigger health bonus than the regular one. But hey, look, another recipe. A muggle confit. Confit? I don't know. Semi-sweet and delightfully citrusy. Mmm. Do we have any muggles? We got plenty of seeds. So let's go ahead and plant those as well as our rose mile. Again, don't leave the food on the branches too long unless you want it to rot. Now that is beneficial for some recipes, but not for this one right now. Yeah, the reason I don't like grapes in this game that much is the grape stem always, like, takes up a spot. I don't know. It's just a tad annoying. I'm going to be skipping out a lot of the food eating from now on, because this is more or less just kind of the process of leveling up and doing the Mori's recipe things. It's just, hey, look, a new recipe. Better run back to Mori and give him some more food for him to cook up. But he's just so happy doing it.
As you wish. Enjoy your meal. Is there anything else you want to order?
Just keep giving them muggles or keep working on any recipes that you have. There's no real downside to it. Although later on you are going to want to save some food because it's going to be it's going to contribute to a much better recipe down the line. So far, muggles are kind of worthless.
As you wish.
I mean, they're useful for this confit or whatever you call it that Mori's cooking up. But later on down the road, they're just going to be kind of like meh. But certain recipes are going to be pretty they're going to be pretty necessary for. And those will give you some decent XP. But again, even those recipes, kind of middling. Especially whenever like some of the best recipes require like chicken or it requires shrimp.
You look like you might die up here. It'll be a bit expensive, but I'll sell you something if you want.
Egg on toast. So, hey, we got another recipe, so you know what that means. Oh, Mori also sells recipes that you don't just eat at his restaurant. Sometimes he'll give you recipes like egg on toast, which is a portable recipe. Hot cross buns are pretty good, considering they're like 2 servings. They give off decent experience, especially for early game. But doing the egg on toast gives off this like 3 servings, I believe, and it also has a pretty good amount of XP.
Welcome to Mori's Touring Restaurant. I am honored you have summoned me again. Huh? A new recipe. Allow me to add it to
It's a good thing Mori is covered in fur, otherwise he'd probably freeze his ass off up here.
What do you want to order? As you wish. Sorry for the wait.
Unfortunately, you don't get to see the egg on toast on a platter,
Thank you very
but whatever. At least you get to see it whenever you actually eat it. I never really had egg on toast. I prefer to just eat my eggs like by themselves or in an omelet. Maybe put some pepper on them a little bit. They're tasty. I don't really like these snowflake enemies because they always kind of like fool you into thinking that you finished the fight and then they just pop up out of nowhere. They're not especially hard and they're pretty easy to kill, but still. A little annoying. Did we get another recipe? Nope, we got a cyclone mix. Another alchemy recipe. So put a turnip into a beaker and then you will be able to create a giant frozen cyclone. Huh. Pull that stuff off in your science class. And the more turnips you put in, the better the recipe. So now, since we put in 3, we get Whirlwind, which is basically like a barrier for your character, where they're just surrounded by a tornado. So hey, we got a warmer. So in case we ever get too cold, we can use that. And here's the mini-boss that I do not much care for. It's this giant, like, frozen goblin golem thing. So his weak spot is this purple horn. And you have to be pretty precise about hitting it. Also, he tends to, like... I don't know, it's not like it's a god-awful boss. It's not like he's terribly difficult. He's just a bit annoying compared to, like, a lot of the other mini-bosses. Like, you have to be especially precise with fighting him. Also, he causes the freeze element a lot. So that makes you move a lot slower. But hey, we just got a warmer, so... suck it. And also, he jumps around a lot. I don't know, maybe I'm just whining about a very small detail. I just do not much care for this mini-boss, that's all. And the rocks don't help. The rocks aren't great. I don't enjoy them. Let's see what this whirlwind thing does, shall we? Oh, I was mistaken. It's not a buff around your character. It's just a giant cyclone put into one particular area. So it's kind of like a more... it's a more stationary and a much larger version of Cyclone. Personally, I prefer the Toxin Potion. Very big area of effect, does a pretty decent amount of damage. But anyway, there goes that mini-boss. Just gone. The other mini-boss of this stage is not bad. It's kind of creepy, but it's not that difficult. More snowmen to destroy. An entire snowman family dead. All because they had coins and carroteers in their faces. But hey, look at that. We got a pouchette. That improves the our item carrying capacity. Very useful. So we won't constantly be having to drop things or eat more food or, you know, trying to lighten our inventory space. Pretty useful. As usual, another hidden place for a Phozon Prism. What'd we get this time? We got... Skill Link. Yeah, if we just link up our skills, if we just keep using one skill after another, it'll increase the damage. It's pretty good. It kind of encourages combo variety. Remember, the more you level up, the more ability points that you get, which means the more passive abilities that you get. So now we can apply the freeze effect if our HP is ever below 30%. So that's pretty good. Oh cool, griffins. These are new. Something new for something new to fight up on the Winterhorn Ridge. Not very difficult, but still something new. At what point do these trolls realize that they probably should just run away? I mean, like, after seeing one of them just get stingered all over the place and then millions stabbed. I don't know. Alright, now it's time for some really stupid shit to happen in this recording. So this is going over the chicken and the egg. This is going over chickens. If you get an egg, and you place it down by a bunch of seeds, it'll hatch and it'll become a chick. And then it will proceed to eat said seeds on the ground. And if it eats enough, it'll turn to a chicken, which will lay a bunch of eggs, which is pretty useful. And if you kill the chicken, you get some chicken pieces that you can eat for some decent experience. And a chicken bone to just throw at your enemies. It's a pretty good way to get rid of seeds if you didn't just want to throw them into materials.
I thought I got away from the goblins, and now I meet the Demon Lord's daughter. If you're not going to kill me, buy something, will you?
That seems kind of like a weird thought mentality. Like, if you think she's gonna kill you, why would you just, like, make her pay for stuff? I don't know. So, you're about to see some really stupid shit happen because I wanted to try to show off the chicken and the egg thing that they just went over. So I bought a bunch of seeds because you know, chicken's a pretty good source of experience. So we just put one little egg and it'll hatch. So we're also just gonna throw down a bunch of worthless seeds, like the mulberry seeds or the muggle seeds. Because the more seeds the chick eats as a chicken, then it'll lay more eggs, which are also pretty useful. That's good for egg on toast or for more chickens. But the chick decided to go in the completely opposite direction and jump away, actively running away from the seeds I placed down. And the thing is invincible. I just hit it to change directions. Still, it just became a really huge clown shoes operation. I'm just literally making it rain seeds on this thing. So yeah, If you want to make a chicken, just 3 seeds and that's all it takes. 3 seeds also equals an egg. And then the thing wanted to run away from the seeds. Again. I'm gonna wait. And I waited for it to have another egg, and then I just decided, alright, that's enough. Time for chicken. Pretty good experience. A bit of a goofy process, but it turned out pretty well in the end. So here's another mid-boss. A bugbear. Yeah, this thing's pretty creepy. It's pretty creepy. It doesn't really look like the bugbears that I'm familiar with from fantasy games. Does not look like them. That does not look that similar. I might be thinking of owlbears. Whatever. Anyway, it's not that difficult of a boss. Although this one does. If anything, this thing is just really freaking creepy. Not that hard. It just stands pretty still. And unlike the giant troll that we fought a little while ago, you can be hit wherever. It doesn't have one particular weak spot. If anything, it's just a giant punching bag. Yeah, well. But hey, we got a pretty decent reward for that. We got the Saturn Bangle, which is one of my favorite items in the game. So let's go ahead and eat all of these, eat all of our food. Get some levels in. See? 3 servings and some pretty decent experience while we're at it. The Saturn Bangle is one of my favorite equipable items. Because it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You can do 10% more damage, but you also take 10% more damage. So it encourages you to not be very careless. Very character actiony. You gotta dodge as much as you're attacking. And fortunately, I'm relatively good at that. And as we progress through the game, there'll be significant improvements over the equipment. Like eventually, we'll get a better version of the Saturn Bangle. It's a good thing these maps don't work in real time, otherwise Velvet might be in danger. Ah, well. So now it's going to go into the currency of Arion. All the coins that we've been collecting through the game. There's also the Valentine currency. Since Valentine was wiped off the face of the map, their currency is still pretty rare. Not with merchants in general, but with the Puka. And we're going to get into that pretty soon, because that's another area where we're going to be getting a lot of experience. A bit of a spoiler. There is an option to go to the village of the Puka. Puka are like Mori, or like Velvet's handmaiden. And if you pay them in Valentine currency, they'll give you some pretty good food. Those are the other restaurants where you don't have to exactly gather any recipes. They automatically have food for you. Alright, so here's Brigand.
Found the dragon yet? Is Wagner really here, as this girl says he is? Go find him! All of you, go! I don't mind that he isn't here. I never wanted to meet the dragon anyway.
Uh-huh.
Even if you are sacrificed, there's no guarantee it will give me the ring. I'd be needlessly putting my life in jeopardy.
Yeah, some warrior you are.
This is what I will tell your father. The dragon killed you here, as I commanded.
Suck it.
You? Why are you
Suck
doing
it, Brigand, you dirtbag.
Hurry! Run away! If you still wish to live, go!
Gwendolyn, you've done a very foolish thing.
Uh-huh, sure I have.
This isn't about using the cauldron, is it? Why do you seek her death so fervently?
Do you really want to know? After she is dead, I will inform the nation that the witch was the king's daughter.
Oh, you fucking dirtbag.
And after having a child with the enemy, he was such a monster that he killed her.
Because of you?
The people will wonder if such a man is fit to be king.
Well, I guess we'll just have to kill you before you can say that, huh?
Generals could be so treacherous.
Really? Look at the guy!
After I deal with you, I'll recapture that girl and offer her to the dragon. Why don't you try begging for mercy? Perhaps you could be the new king's mistress.
Yeah, and that's what's gonna get you killed. Okay, so besides being a huge bastard, Brigand is not that hard of a boss. Now, those 4 plates on his chest protect him from taking any damage. The first part of the boss fight is actually getting those off of him. The sooner you can get those off, the sooner you can do damage to him. When all 4 of those fall off, then you can actually start hurting him. But the problem is, once they all fall off, Valkyries will show up to try putting them back on. Now you can obviously go ahead and attack the Valkyries before they put them back on, or just kill Brigand before they show up. It really depends on how strong you are, or how effective at combos you are. So now we can actually start hurting him. And don't let him hit you with his drink, because that'll confuse your character. Aha, you're frozen. Yeah, Brigand's not that hard of a fight. Especially not when you throw poison in his face. Oh, but now we have a burn. Because he's breathing fire at us. My question is, I'm not really sure what the Valkyries get out of helping Brigand. Like, why would they work with this asshole as opposed to their princess? Am I wrong? But anyway, just smack them away so they can't actually put the plates back on Brigand. It makes the fight go by quicker and easier. And also you get rid of a few turncoats. And down he goes. Well, that's one problem dealt with. Hey, we saved the kingdom.
This is hopeless. You have disobeyed me and killed my chief vassal.
You're welcome.
The fact that you are my daughter cannot save you from punishment.
Oh.
The citizens of the nation will never stand for it.
They'll never stand for that dirtbag dying?
You're trembling.
Eh, whatever.
Do you regret your actions? There is no excuse for what I did. I am prepared to face the consequences.
Because
I shall
Gwendolyn's a
endure any
badass.
form of punishment.
Rebellious Valkyrie, you will undergo the customary punishment. A sleeping spell will be cast upon you. When you awaken, your heart will belong to a stranger. Your pride and honor will be stripped away. You will devote your life to him, bear his children, and grow old.
I care not. My actions spared you from suffering.
Oh, my dear, what have I done?
Aw, I'm still gonna cast a spell on you, though.
My precious daughter.
Aw, see, Odin did care about
I
Gwendolyn.
have longed to hear you say those words.
Little late, though.
Oh, Father.
And out she goes. Well. Hey, that's a pretty nice dress. Looks very nice. It's pretty.
So that's it. I am no longer a Valkyrie. It's as if it was all a dream.
A Midsummer's Night one, you might say. So who kissed Gwendolyn and now, like, has her heart? I guess we'll find out later. But in the meantime, Gwendolyn got Icicle Wave. That's pretty good. You just shoot a wave of ice. It's an okay move. I don't really use it. Instead, I'm going to upgrade the Cypher. More damage, please. Alright, well, I guess we'll figure out who Gwendolyn ended up marrying on the old castle terrace. Until then, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.